65 to 85 years old. One should not go visiting around. Reasons you must know. As we age, life brings new wisdom and reflections that shape how we interact with others and, most importantly, how we preserve our own peace. For those in their later years, ages 65 to 85, understanding the delicate balance between solitude and social visits becomes an essential part of living fully and meaningfully. What does it mean to embrace solitude gracefully, and why should we tread carefully when it comes to visiting others? In this stage of life, our presence has profound impact, and so do the boundaries we set to protect our well-being. In this insightful exploration, we'll dive into stories and experiences that reveal why seniors often choose independence over frequent social visits, and how this choice leads to a more harmonious, content life. Each story will highlight the value of health, respect for boundaries, financial independence, and the inner peace that comes from appreciating solitude. Whether it's about finding joy in one's own company or recognizing that not every invitation is an open door, the reasons are deeper than they first appear. These are reflections that may not only inspire you, but also reshape the way you view interactions and relationships at this stage of life. Join us as we explore these powerful insights that help us find contentment and fulfillment in ways that matter most. If these lessons resonate with you, please share your thoughts and subscribe to our channel for more discussions on aging with wisdom and dignity. The power of personal space. As we grow older, the world around us can feel both more vibrant and more overwhelming. Personal space becomes not just a preference, but a necessity, a quiet sanctuary where we can retreat, reflect, and recharge. The journey of aging often reveals how precious solitude truly is, and how deeply it affects our inner peace and happiness. Personal space is more than just physical. It's about emotional space too. Setting boundaries allows us to manage our energy, find clarity, and live with a sense of calm that only comes from within. Take, for instance, Mr. Robert, a retired teacher who, after years of bustling classrooms and busy family life, now finds solace in his own company. For Robert, solitude is not loneliness. It is a conscious choice, an act of self-care that allows him to connect with himself without external distractions. At first, friends and family found it odd when Robert declined gatherings or preferred short visits over long, lingering ones. Some even questioned whether he was withdrawing from life. But Robert understood that personal space, particularly in his later years, was about nurturing his mental and emotional well-being. He had given much of himself to others over the years. Now, he was finally giving back to himself. Personal space at this age is also a powerful form of self-respect. When we create a rhythm of quiet moments, we allow ourselves to process life's journey and all the experiences we've gathered over decades. It's not about rejecting social interactions, it's about curating them thoughtfully, so that each one enriches our lives rather than depleting it. In Robert's case, he still enjoys visits with his friends, but he finds they are more meaningful and impactful when he chooses them consciously. The gatherings become less frequent but more cherished, as he brings a full and peaceful presence rather than an exhausted one. Some might wonder why personal space becomes so central as we age. The answer lies in the natural changes that come with life's later stages. Physically, we might not have the same energy we once did, and emotionally, our tolerance for prolonged social engagements may change. Instead, we may find that conversations with ourselves, reflections on life's lessons, or even a quiet afternoon spent reading or gardening bring us a deep contentment that large social gatherings might not. By establishing personal space, we're not isolating ourselves. We're grounding ourselves in the values that bring us peace. In fact, many who embrace solitude and personal space find they are better able to connect with others when the time is right. After Robert dedicated more time to his own needs, He found that his relationships improved because he brought a calmer, more centered self to each interaction. Instead of rushing from one event to the next, he approached each meeting with a renewed appreciation for connection. This power of personal space allows us to live with intention. It reminds us that our time, energy, and attention are valuable, and it teaches us to be selective about where we spend them. After all, life in our later years is about choosing quality over quantity, depth over surface, and meaning over mere activity. In embracing personal space, we honor ourselves and create a life that feels rich in peace and purpose. Ultimately, personal space is an invitation to reconnect with who we are at our core, free from the demands or expectations of others. It's a gift we give to ourselves, allowing us to walk through our days with grace, contentment, and an unwavering sense of inner calm. And as Robert learned, this powerful embrace of solitude and personal space can transform our later years into a time of profound self-discovery and joy. Boundaries in social interactions. As we move into the later stages of life, boundaries in social interactions become an essential part of maintaining harmony and well-being. Understanding and respecting these boundaries can mean the difference between a fulfilling social life and one marked by misunderstandings, strain, or even exhaustion. Social boundaries help us define who we are and allow us to interact in ways that are genuine, considerate, and in tune with our own needs. For those aged 65 to 85, boundaries become a protective layer that preserves peace and enables us to make the most of our connections. Mrs. Eleanor, a retired librarian, knows the importance of setting boundaries. She spent much of her life as a welcoming and social person, opening her home to friends and family without hesitation. However, as the years passed, she noticed that her energy wasn't what it used to be. Visits that once brought her joy began to feel like obligations, and the constant flow of guests left her drained. When her children expressed surprise at her new desire for quiet time, Eleanor gently explained that she wasn't shutting them out. Rather, she was preserving her energy to be fully present when she did choose to engage. The beauty of boundaries is that they are not about rejecting others, but about honoring ourselves. They allow us to be more deliberate in our relationships, helping us to interact with kindness and presence rather than from a place of duty or fatigue. For Eleanor, setting boundaries meant enjoying her social interactions more deeply, as she could now enter them with a rested mind and heart. One important aspect of boundaries is recognizing that they are fluid and adaptable. As our circumstances change, so can our boundaries. For instance, we might find that morning visits are more energizing than evening ones, or that shorter gatherings are more enjoyable than lengthy affairs. Eleanor found that by communicating her preferences, her family and friends became more understanding and accommodating. They scheduled shorter intentional visits and didn't take it personally when she needed time alone. This shift transformed her relationships, allowing her to show up with a sense of appreciation and joy rather than obligation. Boundaries are also a two-way street. Just as we have the right to set boundaries, we must also be mindful of the boundaries of others. For example, even if an old friend extends an invitation, it's essential to assess whether it is a sincere offer or a polite gesture. Eleanor once visited a friend who had invited her over after a casual comment, only to realize that her friend's family wasn't fully comfortable with the unplanned visit. This experience taught her to carefully consider not only her own needs, but also the preferences of those she spent time with. Respecting boundaries in social interactions often requires a delicate balance of empathy and awareness. It's about listening closely, reading subtle cues, and being honest about our own desires without imposing them on others. By learning to identify these nuances, we foster relationships that are based on mutual respect rather than on social obligations or unspoken expectations. These boundaries also protect the essence of our relationships, ensuring they remain positive and fulfilling. For Eleanor, limiting her social interactions didn't distance her from her loved ones. Rather, it made each interaction more meaningful. The time she did spend with others was filled with laughter, warmth, and genuine connection, because she could approach each moment with a heart that was fully engaged. Ultimately, boundaries in social interactions allow us to navigate our later years with grace, honoring both our personal needs and the needs of others. They create a space where we can connect with authenticity, avoid misunderstandings, and share our time in a way that respects everyone involved. In setting and respecting these boundaries, we are reminded that the quality of our relationships, not the quantity, is what truly brings peace and fulfillment in our later years. Careful communication in old age. In the later stages of life, communication takes on a new depth and significance. It's no longer just about exchanging words, but about connecting meaningfully, fostering understanding, and avoiding misunderstandings that can strain relationships. Careful communication becomes a tool for nurturing harmony and maintaining strong bonds with loved ones, neighbors, and friends. For those aged 65 to 85, expressing ourselves thoughtfully and attentively allows us to protect our relationships while enjoying the peace and satisfaction that comes from open and respectful exchanges. Mr. Walter, a former high school principal, learned the value of careful communication through an incident with his son. During a casual family gathering, he mentioned his feelings on a sensitive family issue, intending only to make a light-hearted comment. However, his words were misinterpreted, creating tension between him and his daughter-in-law. The misunderstanding could have been avoided with a bit more thought and restraint, a lesson Walter took to heart. Now, he approaches sensitive topics with greater care, choosing his words deliberately and always considering how they might be received. He has found that this approach strengthens his family relationships, allowing everyone to feel heard and respected. Communication in old age also requires a level of self-awareness, particularly regarding the emotional weight our words may carry. It's easy for a casual comment or a well-intentioned piece of advice to be misunderstood or misinterpreted, especially in close relationships. By being mindful of the impact our words might have, we cultivate a supportive and understanding environment, free from unnecessary conflicts. Mr. Walter now uses questions rather than direct statements to encourage conversation, asking about his son's and daughter-in-law's perspectives instead of offering unsolicited advice. This small change has led to more open and less defensive conversations where everyone feels valued and respected. Another important aspect of communication in old age is learning when to hold back. Over the years, Mr. Walter has realized that sometimes the best communication is silent support. By listening more and speaking less, he creates a space for his family to open up without feeling judged or pressured. This shift in approach has deepened his relationships, allowing his loved ones to share more openly while feeling safe and understood. It's a reminder that silence can be just as powerful as words, especially when it conveys empathy, understanding, and patience. Being cautious with our words also extends to social settings outside the family. A casual comment in a group of friends can easily spiral into gossip, creating unintended rifts. Walter has seen this happen with peers and now chooses to focus on positive or neutral topics, steering away from any conversation that might lead to misunderstandings or conflicts. By maintaining this positive focus, he fosters a sense of goodwill and mutual respect in his social circles. Careful communication, then, becomes a cornerstone of peaceful, fulfilling relationships in later life. By choosing our words thoughtfully, actively listening, and knowing when silence speaks best, we enrich our connections with those around us. In embracing careful communication, we invite harmony, mutual respect, and understanding into our lives, creating a legacy of kindness and consideration that our loved ones will carry with them long after each conversation has ended. The value of financial independence. In the later years of life, financial independence becomes not just a source of security, but a profound form of personal freedom and dignity. Maintaining control over one's finances allows seniors to make choices without feeling like a burden on their loved ones, preserving self-respect and enabling them to live with confidence. For those aged 65 to 85, financial independence means far more than just covering expenses. It's about creating a stable foundation that supports both physical health and emotional well-being. Mrs. Clara, a retired nurse, had always planned carefully for her retirement. As she aged, her financial independence gave her the freedom to manage her health without leaning heavily on her children. When she needed knee surgery, she was able to pay for her own medical expenses, freeing her family from the stress of covering her bills. Clara's children, though willing to help, were relieved and grateful for her self-sufficiency. This allowed her to keep her family bonds strong, preserving the joy of being with her loved ones without financial strain clouding their interactions. For seniors, the ability to handle financial matters independently fosters a sense of control and peace. Life in retirement can bring unexpected expenses, from medical bills to home repairs. Having a financial cushion ensures that these costs do not become crises, which in turn contributes to a greater sense of stability and self-reliance. Mrs. Clara understands that her financial independence doesn't mean she must distance herself from her children. It simply means she can participate in family life without the weight of dependence. Her independence has allowed her to focus on what truly matters, enjoying time with her children and grandchildren and savouring the simplicity of life without the anxieties of financial need. Financial independence also reinforces the dignity that seniors hold dear. For many, relying on others financially can feel disheartening, as though they've lost the autonomy they once had. But by prioritising financial stability in their later years, seniors like Mrs. Clara show that it's possible to remain empowered, independent, and engaged in their families' lives while preserving a sense of self-worth. Ultimately, the value of financial independence lies in the freedom it offers: freedom to make choices, freedom from worry, and freedom to embrace life's moments with a calm heart. It is a testament to a lifetime of careful planning and the wisdom to cherish what they have earned. For those in their later years, financial independence is about more than money. It is the foundation upon which they build a life of peace, dignity, and the joy of being able to stand strong and support themselves, even as they enjoy the comfort of family around them. Health as your greatest asset. As we age, one realization often rises above all others. Health is, indeed, our greatest asset. No amount of wealth or possessions can substitute the value of a healthy body and mind. For those between 65 and 85, maintaining health means so much more than physical strength. It's the key to enjoying life's daily moments, sustaining independence, and reducing the burdens that illness can place on loved ones. Good health is the foundation upon which happiness, mobility, and peace of mind rest, allowing us to embrace each day with vitality and gratitude. Consider Mr. Harold, a retired mechanic who once worked long hours and put his physical well-being last. Now in his late 70s, Harold recognizes that his health is what defines his quality of life. After experiencing heart issues in his early retirement, he made the decision to prioritize his health, adopting a balanced diet and committing to regular physical activity. This shift has not only improved his physical strength, but also brought him a new sense of purpose and pride. When his grandchildren visit, he no longer watches from the sidelines, but actively joins them in outdoor activities, which brings him a joy that no material asset could ever provide. Health in older age is not simply about avoiding illness, it's about preserving the ability to engage meaningfully with life and the people we love. For Harold, health has become a passport to freedom. By making wellness a priority, he's given himself the gift of movement and stamina, which allows him to participate fully in family gatherings and experience the world around him with renewed energy. His story is a reminder that nurturing our physical and mental well-being is, at its core, a commitment to experiencing life as deeply as possible. But health isn't just about physical vitality, it's also about mental resilience. Emotional well-being, a balanced outlook, and the ability to find peace in solitude are equally vital to a fulfilling life. Studies show that people who maintain a positive outlook and engage in social activities experience lower levels of stress, reduced risk of depression, and an overall greater sense of well-being. Mr. Harold, too, takes time for mindfulness practices, which help him cope with the inevitable changes and challenges that come with age. This focus on mental health enables him to adapt to life's transitions with grace and resilience. Moreover, prioritizing health alleviates the strain that illness can place on family members. As Harold's heart health stabilized, his family's worry lessened, and his independence restored a sense of peace within the household. He takes pride in the fact that he doesn't need constant care, freeing his children to focus on their own lives without the added stress of his health. Health, then, is the bedrock of contentment in later years. It gives us the capacity to savor simple pleasures, from a morning walk to sharing a meal with family. For seniors, investing in health is not merely about living longer, it's about living better. Every effort to maintain wellness is an investment in a rich and fulfilling life, enabling us to age with dignity, joy, and the freedom to remain present in life's most cherished moments. Embracing family without overdependence. As we journey through life, family remains a cornerstone of our happiness and support. Yet, in our later years, it becomes essential to strike a delicate balance between leaning on family for connection and avoiding overdependence that can create strain. Embracing family without becoming overly reliant fosters a sense of mutual respect, preserves personal dignity, and strengthens family bonds, allowing both generations to maintain their independence while cherishing the love they share. For Mrs. Julia, a retired teacher in her 80s, family has always been central to her life. She adores spending time with her children and grandchildren and looks forward to their visits and gatherings. Yet, she is careful not to intrude on their lives or rely on them for day-to-day support. Having watched friends who became too dependent on their children and ended up feeling disappointed or even burdensome, Julia resolved to maintain her own independence. She saw that her self-sufficiency allowed her family to enjoy their time with her more freely, without the worry of being constantly responsible for her needs. One of the keys to embracing family without overdependence is cultivating one's own interests and routines. Julia takes pride in her gardening, a hobby that fills her time and brings her peace. She also volunteers occasionally, which keeps her active and connected to her community. This sense of purpose allows her to be fulfilled in her own right, giving her something meaningful to share with her family without feeling like she needs to rely on them for her happiness. When her family visits, she has her own stories, activities, and updates, making their time together rich and engaging. This balance of independence and family connection also benefits Julia's children, who feel comforted knowing that she is living happily and securely without the pressure of having to manage her life. By ensuring she's self-sufficient, Julia creates space for her family to support her out of love rather than obligation. They know that she values their company not because she depends on it, but because she genuinely enjoys the moments they share. At its heart, embracing family without overdependence is about nurturing a relationship where love flows freely and without expectation. For seniors, this balance allows for a deeper, more harmonious connection with family members, while also preserving the dignity and self-respect that comes from maintaining independence. As Julia has learned, it is this very balance that allows her to enjoy the full beauty of family, joyous, light-hearted, and free from the weight of dependency. In this way, family becomes a source of shared happiness, a safe harbour rather than an anchor, and a cherished gift that both generations hold dear. Economic differences and peace of mind. As we grow older, it's natural to become more mindful of the company we keep and the impact it has on our peace of mind. One often overlooked factor is the economic differences between friends and family members, which can unintentionally affect how we feel and relate to others. In our later years, these disparities may lead to feelings of comparison, envy, or even discomfort, which can disrupt the inner peace that seniors value so much. For many, choosing to live with less frequent social interactions and maintaining a modest, self-contained lifestyle helps avoid these pitfalls, fostering a sense of contentment and ease. Mr. Samuel, a retired factory supervisor, has always led a simple life, one grounded in humility and financial prudence. Although some of his friends have greater wealth, Samuel chooses not to compare himself to them. He realized early on that such comparisons would only detract from his peace, especially as he entered retirement. While some of his friends travelled extensively or indulged in luxuries, he focused on enjoying life's simpler pleasures. In doing so, Samuel found himself free from the stress of measuring his life against others' financial achievements. For Samuel, peace of mind comes from appreciating his own path and avoiding the mental burden of keeping up with others. By being content with what he has, he finds joy in his own way of life, whether it's reading on his porch, spending time with family, or tending to his small garden. Avoiding economic comparisons has allowed him to cultivate a genuine sense of fulfillment, something that wealth alone could not provide. Economic differences don't have to create distance in relationships, but being mindful of them can prevent misunderstandings or feelings of inadequacy. For seniors like Samuel, living with this awareness fosters mutual respect among friends and family and ensures that interactions are based on shared values rather than material status. Choosing simplicity over status enables him to keep his relationships free from the pressures of economic competition, allowing space for genuine connection. In the end, embracing economic differences while valuing one's own lifestyle brings a profound peace. It allows seniors to live with purpose and authenticity, untouched by the strain of comparison. This approach, rooted in gratitude and self-respect, ensures that they can enjoy their later years with true inner peace, finding joy in each day without the distractions of financial envy or rivalry. The positive mental state. As we journey through the later stages of life, cultivating a positive mental state becomes one of the most invaluable practices. A calm, optimistic mindset can transform our experience, helping us navigate challenges with resilience and view each day with a renewed sense of gratitude. For those aged 65 to 85, maintaining a positive outlook not only enhances emotional well-being but also supports physical health, fostering a balanced and fulfilling life. Mr. Henry, a former engineer, knows well the power of a positive mental state. In his 70s, he faced a series of health issues that could have easily led him down a path of worry and despair. Instead, he chose to focus on what he could control: his attitude. Each morning, Henry makes it a point to express gratitude, whether for his family, his memories, or simply the beauty of nature outside his window. This daily practice has helped him remain grounded and hopeful, even when faced with life's inevitable hurdles. Studies have shown that a positive mental state can reduce stress, improve heart health, and even enhance immune function. For Henry, this means fewer days spent worrying and more time enjoying the present. He credits his mental outlook with his ability to adapt to changes and remain engaged with life. The benefits are clear not only in his mood, but also in his physical well-being. His family often remarks on his energy and zest for life, traits that radiate from his positive attitude. A positive mental state also fosters better decision-making, which is crucial as we age. With retirement comes choices about how to spend our time, where to invest our energy, and how to navigate relationships. Henry has learned that with a calm and positive mindset, he's better equipped to make these decisions thoughtfully, focusing on what truly brings him joy. Whether it's choosing to spend time with loved ones, explore new hobbies, or simply enjoy a quiet day at home, he approaches each choice with clarity and peace. In embracing a positive mental state, seniors like Henry find that life becomes richer and more rewarding. This outlook empowers them to savor the simple joys, cope gracefully with difficulties, and embrace each moment with open-heartedness. Ultimately, a positive mindset allows us to see our later years not as a decline, but as a time of personal growth, fulfillment, and contentment. A period of life where we can truly appreciate all we have lived, learned, and loved. The positive mental state. As we journey through the later stages of life, cultivating a positive mental state becomes one of the most invaluable practices. A calm, optimistic mindset can transform our experience, helping us navigate challenges with resilience and view each day with a renewed sense of gratitude. For those aged 65 to 85, maintaining a positive outlook not only enhances emotional well-being, but also supports physical health, fostering a balanced and fulfilling life. Mr. Henry, a former engineer, knows well the power of a positive mental state. In his 70s, he faced a series of health issues that could have easily led him down a path of worry and despair. Instead, he chose to focus on what he could control: his attitude. Each morning, Henry makes it a point to express gratitude, whether for his family, his memories, or simply the beauty of nature outside his window. This daily practice has helped him remain grounded and hopeful, even when faced with life's inevitable hurdles. Studies have shown that a positive mental state can reduce stress, improve heart health, and even enhance immune function. For Henry, this means fewer days spent worrying and more time enjoying the present. He credits his mental outlook with his ability to adapt to changes and remain engaged with life. The benefits are clear, not only in his mood, but also in his physical well-being. His family often remarks on his energy and zest for life, traits that radiate from his positive attitude. A positive mental state also fosters better decision-making, which is crucial as we age. With retirement comes choices about how to spend our time, where to invest our energy, and how to navigate relationships. Henry has learned that with a calm and positive mindset, he's better equipped to make these decisions thoughtfully, focusing on what truly brings him joy. Whether it's choosing to spend time with loved ones, explore new hobbies, or simply enjoy a quiet day at home, he approaches each choice with clarity and peace. In embracing a positive mental state, seniors like Henry find that life becomes richer and more rewarding. This outlook empowers them to savor the simple joys, cope gracefully with difficulties, and embrace each moment with open-heartedness. Ultimately, a positive mindset allows us to see our later years not as a decline, but as a time of personal growth, fulfillment, and contentment. A period of life where we can truly appreciate all we have lived, learned, and loved. New insight. Solitude as a path to inner peace. In the later years of life, solitude becomes more than just quiet time. It transforms into a pathway to inner peace and self-discovery. For many seniors, embracing solitude provides a rare opportunity to connect with themselves deeply, free from the distractions and demands of daily life. In solitude, we find a space to reflect, heal, and appreciate the fullness of our experiences, fostering a serenity that enhances both mind and spirit. Mrs. Lillian, a retired artist in her 80s, once feared solitude, associating it with isolation. But as time passed, she came to view her quiet moments as gifts rather than voids. In her solitude, Lillian paints, reads, and sometimes simply watches the world around her, finding beauty in each moment. The absence of constant social interaction has given her the freedom to explore her thoughts and emotions, letting her confront and embrace all aspects of herself. She no longer relies on others to fill her time or her heart. She has learned to find fulfillment within. Solitude also allows for a sense of clarity that social interactions sometimes cloud. For seniors like Lillian, quiet time becomes a mirror, reflecting not only who they are, but also what they truly value. Through solitude, she has discovered an inner strength and calm that no external connection could provide. The peace she finds in her own company empowers her to approach family and friends with a heart that is full, present, and undistracted. When she does engage socially, it is with a renewed sense of joy and intentionality, knowing she has nurtured her own well-being first. Moreover, solitude fosters resilience. In these quiet times, Lillian reflects on her life's journey, reconciling with both her triumphs and her hardships. This deep self-connection prepares her for whatever may come, providing her with an unshakable inner peace that remains even when challenges arise. Solitude, then, is not a retreat from life, but a stepping stone to engaging with it more fully. For seniors, solitude as a path to inner peace offers a sense of wholeness and contentment. It is in these quiet moments that we can appreciate life's richness, find closure in our past, and gather strength for what lies ahead. In embracing solitude, seniors like Lillian learn that peace does not come from the presence of others, but from a deep, unwavering acceptance of oneself. This insight turns solitude into a profound and cherished companion, one that brings a sense of calm and fulfillment that enriches life immeasurably. A final note on finding peace. In the journey through later life, peace is found not only in the company of loved ones, but in the quiet moments spent with oneself. Embracing solitude, setting healthy boundaries, nurturing a positive mindset, and honoring our physical and financial well-being all contribute to a life that is rich with contentment and fulfillment. These practices allow seniors to experience life with intention and appreciation, creating a meaningful path that honors the wisdom of age. As we reflect on these insights, let us remember that life's greatest joys often come from within. Each step towards peace is a gift we give ourselves, a gift that resonates with those around us and enhances our relationships. If these reflections resonate with you, we invite you to explore more of our content and share your thoughts. Join our channel as we continue to celebrate the wisdom of aging gracefully and living fully.